be wrapped around your arms instead of being lonely. We could be gazing at the stars, but now it feels just like I wandered off into a room and closed the door behind me. I never gave the key to you, even though I wanted to. I should be trying something new, but now my body's aching. I'm tired of dwelling in the dark, it's just that my heart can't take it. I didn't know what it would cost me when I let you go. I feel alone, and I'm just singing.
Good morning, guys. As you saw, it is raining outside. Like I mentioned in yesterday's video, it's supposed to rain for the next like 8 days or 7 days at this point. Literally every day in the forecast said it's gonna rain, at least 40% chance. So the next 8 days of my life are gonna be pretty boring and, you know, just like stuck inside. But in today's vlog, I want to answer one of the most common questions I get on Instagram. I get it on YouTube occasionally, and that is, what is my tattoo for? I have one single tattoo, and it's this tattoo right here, and it is of a black panther. And right here, it has my dad's handwriting. It just says, "Love you, Dad, XXXOOO," and that is his handwriting from the last birthday card that he sent me or gave me while he was alive. So this entire tattoo is a memorial piece for my dad. He was in the army, and he got one of like those like side views of a black panther roaring, which was very common to get. Like that kind of tattoo was very common to get when you were in the military, when he was in. And whenever I was trying to decide what kind of tattoo I wanted to get in remembrance of him, that tattoo kind of just like, you know, really stuck out to me. My mom was actually the one who was like, "Hey, what about this? Like, if it's your personality, you can make it really look cool." Well, I didn't want like that traditional, like old school side view, really crappy done piece of artwork on my body. I wanted something really, really beautiful. So I went ahead and got this. And the eyes are blue, and they are the color of his eyes. If you guys haven't seen, I'll insert a picture right here. My dad had very, very bright blue eyes, and that is why my black panther has blue eyes. So that's basically the meaning of my tattoo. My dad had it on the same arm, and I just got it in remembrance of him. I lost him when I was 15, and I guess I could tell you guys like a little backstory. Like, it's really been so long. It's been, oh, what is it, like 8 years this year, I believe, since it happened. But yeah, I was 15 when he passed away, and he had decided to move to New Zealand. And I have mentioned before that that is where my dad was born and raised up until he was 13. And then my grandpa brought him here, which is not our blood grandpa. It's my grandpa that adopted my dad. Like it was my dad's adopted dad, because my dad's dad passed away when he was like 13 or 12, around that age. But he came to the US when he was 13 with my grandpa. And he moved back about 3 weeks before he passed away to New Zealand to live out this lifetime dream of going back and living there. He always talked about it ever since I was younger. You know, at one point during my life, my family also was considering moving back with him. Well, my mom says that her plan was to never follow him, but when they were still married, they were planning to move there together, but their marriage was already falling apart at that point. So my dad ended up going there, and luckily he ended up not wanting to be there anymore, and he came back immediately. But when I was 15, he did go back, and he was going to live there permanently. And I was so angry at him. I was like, how do you just expect to just like pick up your life and say you have nothing here worth living for when literally I'm here? Like, I felt so betrayed as a 15-year-old and as a daughter that I was so angry. And I barely talked to him in the 3 weeks that he was there. And he ended up passing away from a massive heart attack while he was there. and we found out by phone call. Like, it was kind of just down the line, like, how do we get a hold of everybody in order for it to get to the right person? So he had a massive heart attack and he basically died instantly. There was nothing they could do. So that's how I lost my dad. And it was, for about 3 years, it was really hard for me to deal with, because I really struggled with, I was so angry at him and I was so mad and so disappointed in him, and I didn't want to talk to him. I didn't want to have a relationship with him. And when he passed away, I was like, oh my God, like, you know, maybe like I killed him. Maybe that was the reason why his heart gave out, was because he was so heartbroken that I didn't want to love him anymore. And I really struggled for a really long time with that. And I think that factored into my relationship with my ex at the time. I think that the weight I was carrying from such a tragic way that my dad died, that's why that relationship failed. And it's also where I learned the most about myself. I really flourished once I got down to the root of the problem, which is me being so angry at my dad, but then so upset with myself for being so angry. And it was just like a circle of emotions that never got, like, they never got expressed, and I never learned how to process them or to acknowledge them. And once I finally learned that, I became like such a better person. I ended up actually leaving my ex and really focusing on myself and becoming the best version of myself, because I had just literally been swallowed with grief and with disappointment. And, you know, once I was able to get the help that I needed and accept what was the problem, I flourished into who I am today, and it just made my life so much easier. But yeah, my dad's death was definitely more on the tragic side. It wasn't like we knew he was gonna die. We really definitely didn't. He was only 52 at the time when he passed away. So he was super young, but he was a smoker and he had really bad PTSD. So we knew his heart wasn't healthy, but yeah, that's how he passed away, and that's what my tattoo means right here. And, you know, I just got it because he was a really great dad whenever I was a kid. But once my parents got divorced at like once my parents got divorced when I was like 12 or 13, and then from when he lived here for the first like 2 years of their divorce, he was just so in his own emotions that he wasn't a very good father figure. And then once he decided to move, I really just didn't agree with him, and I was so angry. And yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. But it's who it made me. It made me who I am today. So I would never like change how it happened or the conversations we had or what I said, because honestly, I have no regrets at this point. I don't live with regrets of what I said or what I did with him. I just accept and acknowledge that that's how it happened, and I move on. I'm super sad my daughter and my kids in the future will never meet him. I think he would be a great papa or granddad to them. You know, he was a great granddad to my niece, and he was so good to her, and he loved her more than life itself. I wish he would have expressed that type of love to me when I was a teenager, but he really struggled with his mental health. He had really bad PTSD, and maybe one day I'll talk more about his story as a person, but you know, I still do struggle with, you know, his outcome with like the military and his life and his life choices. I think that if I would have had, you know, 4 or 5 more years with him, I would have been able to really talk to him like and say, what's going on? You have got to find the root of the problem. It's going to kill you, because mental health is so important, and I'm such a big advocate for it. So I do wish I would have gotten a couple more years with him, but it is what it is. And this is the cards that God dealt me, and I have to deal them. So I'm here, I am thriving. Now that I answered one of the top questions I get all the time, I am feeling a little hungry, but I had someone comment that I changed their life with frozen dragon fruit. And guys, like literally it is life-changing. I saw someone on TikTok that was making dragon fruit, and they were like, oh, frozen dragon fruit, I get it from Whole Foods. we don't have a Whole Foods here. And then when I was looking up on the Target app one day and it was like frozen dragon fruit, get 20 cents back or something, I was like, frozen dragon fruit. So of course I clicked on it and it said it was available in my store. I was like, sold. When can I buy it? And you guys know that I finally got it. But I don't. Hello. Hey. Why? Why? Okay, so should I just cancel it? Well, we don't, I can't leave you without a car. I would have to leave on Friday and you have to have a car for work and Monday and stuff like that, so. Yeah, I can't fly right now. Definitely not. My doctor wouldn't approve that.
Hello?
Hey,
Hey.
I got some bad news.
What?
So Mauricio's leave is not approved for our baby shower. PSA, if you have family or friends around you that are having babies during this pandemic, don't be a jerk to them when things happen unexpectedly. Like, okay, I'm over crying. I just if you know someone around you, don't be a jerk, because it's already hard enough. And you being a jerk does not make it easier. So I'm gonna eat some food now because, like I said, pregnancy, you don't forget that you're hungry. So good morning, guys. Welcome back to the vlog. So me and Mauricio are headed to my 33-week doctor's appointment this morning. I'm having what she said a fun ultrasound. I don't know what that means. I don't know if she tried to say that in a very lighthearted way since our pregnancy has been so like up and down, and every time I go I get bad news. But I've basically come to the conclusion that I'm gonna just like bring Mauricio with me and hope they let him come in, because every time I go there they tell me something bad and I end up getting upset and crying, and I'm just gonna tell them that. I've seen multiple husbands and boyfriends, I'm assuming, go into the doctor's office with them, and they do allow you to go in certain appointments, and I'm hoping that this is one of those appointments that he can go in with me because it's an ultrasound. Like whenever I go in and they just like do the heartbeat and they measure your belly and stuff, like he obviously doesn't need to come to that because it takes like 5 minutes to do. But whenever like she wants to do a fun ultrasound, like I want Mauricio to be a part of it, and they've let him be a part of ultrasounds before, so I don't know what the difference would be between now and then. So I'm gonna well, not ask, I'm just gonna bring him, and hopefully they don't say anything. If they do, he'll just go to the car. But I'm gonna say like, can you please come, because every time I'm here I get bad news. He's getting gas. But my appointment, actually, I usually like to make my appointments like really early because I get really bad anxiety when it comes to doctor's appointments. But I made this morning. I made it at like 9:30 for some reason. I think that's like the only appointment they had, but I made it at 9:30, so that's definitely different for me. But we are getting gas, and then we're gonna stop and get coffee so baby girl will wake up. We can see her moving around, because if it's a fun ultrasound, I want her to be moving. And like I said before, we don't really have that very many good ultrasound pictures of her, so I'm gonna ask if they can give us a bunch of pictures, as many as they can, because we don't really have any. So I'm praying that they can do that for us. But you know, beggars can't be choosers. But after the day that I had yesterday that I just so happened to catch on camera, like just coincidental, I'm hoping today is a little bit better, if you know what I mean. I am back home now from my doctor's appointment, and honestly my appointment was a disappointment. It was no fun ultrasound. It was rushed, and it was just like not personable, and it felt like just a number. So we didn't get very good pictures of her, and we did find out how much she weighs. She weighs 4 pounds and 11 ounces. So she is measuring actually like a couple days ahead of schedule, like 33 weeks and 1 day. So like 2 days ahead of schedule, but she is measuring perfectly fine and she's really healthy. But I'm gonna spend the rest of the day just with myself. I'm not gonna vlog or pick up the camera or anything. I'm just gonna chill. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this vlog right here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in our next one. Bye, guys.
I could be wrapped around your arms and